Hello everyone, I am Fozzie or Cam, and I'm here with my co-host Will, as always. How you doing today, Will?
Doing great, Cam. How about you?
I am doing fantastic. Uh, yeah, so we have a few things on the agenda today. We have Kenobi. We have episode 4 released last week, and episode 5 comes out tomorrow, which I am excited for. I have some thoughts I'd like to share on Kenobi, but we'll get to that after we tell you guys what we're doing today. Then after Kenobi, we will be discussing Ms.Marvel, which episode 1 came out last week. And episode 2, once again, comes out tomorrow, which I also have some very interesting thoughts on that show. And then we actually haven't discussed the Cobra Kai Season 5 teaser trailer yet, which I'm shocked by. Um, so we'll discuss that. And then we have the Spider-Man No Way Home re-release, which I am just so confused by. And I know Morbius did the same thing, it's very strange. I'm not sure why they're doing this. And then we have Thor: Love and Thunder. They came out with a new little teaser trailer, a little snippet, if you will. It's just like a 31 seconds of new footage, kind of. Um, so we'll talk about that. And then we'll have to talk about Jurassic World Dominion, which I was supposed to see, but it got pushed back a bit. So I'll be seeing it next week. But I just wanted to talk about the awful reviews for it. And then we can discuss our thoughts on Game 5 of the Celtics vs. Warriors. And you saw our thoughts in the first half during the halftime show, which we did. And we weren't able to do a pregame show because Will had plans and I couldn't find another co host. So we hope you guys are enjoying these pregame and halftime shows. They're a lot of fun doing them, and they're a lot of fun talking to chat. I mean, I think you'd agree with me, Will.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, so let's get started with Kenobi. And before we start getting in depth, I just want to read a few reviews from critics and fans because they are very different. Because the critics seem to be liking it a lot more than the fans do, which is very shocking, honestly. So, a critic review says it feels like a whole lot of. It feels like a Star Wars has become a cotton candy machine. That's interesting. Endlessly spinning fluff for endlessly spinning fluff for consumption, but it's just empty calories. It's all flavor, no substance. All right, that was quite the metaphor he used there, but um, yeah, I get what they're saying, but it's an interesting show to me. It's not what I expected at all, and I have to say the CGI is just sad for the show. You might not agree with me, Will, but I am not loving the CGI. But yeah, let's read another critic review here.
Sounds good.
That's weird. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's really weird. Rotten Tomatoes isn't showing all the critic reviews. That's really weird.
That is weird.
Huh. Well, we'll just go to the audience because maybe.
Sounds good. Good idea.
But yeah. Well, I'm grabbing this. Why don't you give us your thoughts on the show so far, Will?
Yeah, I just loved this show, honestly. So far, I mean, I just consider Darth Vader just horrifying at the height of his powers. In this show, I love how much they've made Leia a part of it. It's just so great to get to learn more about Obi-Wan Kenobi, 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith. I love how he's trying to talk to his former master Qui-Gon in this
Who I
show.
think we'll see in this show.
Yes, I would love to see, maybe a cameo from Liam Neeson in this show, but,
And by the way,
yeah.
Liam Neeson just turned 70, which really shocked me.
A happy 70th birthday, obviously, to Liam Neeson there. But, obviously Yoda in Revenge of the Sith, tells Obi-Wan that he would make it where he could be able to talk to Qui-Gon. So I love actually being able to see him try to do that in this show, and I would love that to be explored more. But yeah, I haven't had, too much of an issue, with the CGI. I think it's fine, and I've just loved this show, Cam. So, what are your thoughts, or do you want to read another review?
I'll read a good review and then I'll read a bad review. So let's start off with the bad. Um, Douglas F. says, "This is what happens when you put incompetent people in charge to produce a show they don't care about." Alright. I don't I don't think they're incompetent at all, really. I think they have a plan. I don't know if the plan is going to be everyone's favorite. I know it's not my favorite. I don't love what they're doing with the show, and I utterly despise Leia's character in this show. I love how strong she is. She's a cool character, but if they just made her a little bit older, because I cannot stand that actress who plays her. Oh my
Why?
gosh. I just found her to be so annoying. And I get what they're trying to do with it, and I totally
She is
respect
only
it.
like 10 years old, so she is a young girl still.
I think they just should have bumped it up a little bit. I know it really wouldn't have worked, but man, it's killing me. She is just so annoying, and it's so hard to take her seriously when she's getting interrogated by like a grand inquisitor. It's just not believable. I don't like it.
Well, I mean, I mean, at 10 years old, maybe she doesn't like understand the like severity of the situation, and maybe she would act differently when she was older. So maybe it has something to do with her age, why she's not acting more scared.
I guess. Here's a good review here. This show has had surprises, many of them, but is still a competent and good show. The villain Darth Vader is amazing, and Ewan McGregor, sorry, once again does a fantastic job as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Agreed.
Now that is everything I would put on the good side, but that reviewer John W did not mention any of the bad. And now,
What do you think the bad is, Cam?
all right,
Besides your despise of this particular 10-year-old Leia Organa.
all right. So where to start? I'm not loving how it looks awful. I have to say, I don't love Leia, and I feel like they're doing a weird thing with Obi-Wan and Vader. They like kind of want to have them fight, but they can't because New Hope they like fight for the first time in like a while. So I don't understand what they're trying to do, and I am just mad that they casted Hayden Christensen if he's not going to have any actual lines that he says. And I've heard people say he actually is a good actor. I can't say I've seen any of his other movies other than the Star Wars movies, which he's not very good in. But I'm willing to see if he can redeem himself. And we just have James Earl Jones saying some of his just James Earl Jones' voice, which we've all heard a million times. So I don't know why we have Hayden Christensen if he's not going to talk. I mean, Vader's fine, but he's like barely in the show. I like Reva. Reva's a really cool character, and I'm not sure why people are review bombing the show because of her. Um, I just think they've made a lot of strange choices with the show to leave Tatooine for so long and to kind of change things up. There was a whole Darth Maul story arc in the show, and they completely took that out, which I am super mad about. And it's not very action packed per se, which I'm fine with. I feel like Mando isn't always as action packed as some other Star Wars things, and I love Mando. But it's strange. The dialogue is awful. It sounds like George Lucas is back writing, and I mean that chase scene in Episode 1, I believe, when they capture Leia.
I think it's two.
Oh, two.
Or is
Okay.
it one?
It's one or two.
Okay, yeah.
I
You're
kind
actually probably right. Sorry, go ahead.
I kind of blended those two episodes together because they came out on the same day. Um, But yeah, that's ridiculous. A 10-year-old Leia is not going to outrun four bounty hunters or whatever they were. Oh yeah, those characters were there. No, no, like what were they? Were they supposed to be scary? No, like they weren't menacing. They got beaten up by a 10-year-old girl. I mean, one guy just ran into a tree. It's just dumb. I'm not loving this show so much, and I'm not hating it. And I really don't like reviewing shows before they finish. Like I think I told you that before we started, Will. So this is not my final. These are not my final thoughts because I need to see where it all goes. If it's all leading up to this dumb ending that I don't love, then I will not be liking the show. If it leads to something really cool that we all like, I will like this show. I think it all depends on what it builds to. So
What do you think they're building it towards right now?
I don't know because they already had that fight with Obi-Wan and Vader. I'm not
Well, I
sure.
think in episode 6 we will get another fight between the two of them. I think that's what they're building to.
I don't know, but that would be kind of weird because then there would be another fight in A New Hope, and it doesn't make sense because some of the dialogue in New Hope just says that. Let's see here. Vader sensed in New Hope. Vader sensed the presence he hasn't felt in a long time, which wouldn't make sense because only a few years ago you fought him twice.
So
So
how many years are there between Revenge of the Sith or between this Obi-Wan Kenobi show and A New Hope? Because if in A New Hope he hasn't sensed Obi-Wan in a long time, like there is
that's a good
time
point. That's a good point.
time between this show and A New Hope.
I see your point there. I'm not exactly sure how many years, but I totally see your point there. Yeah,
Because Leia is much older in A New Hope than she is right now,
yeah,
for
I
instance.
get that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna give this show a 6.5 right now. I loved episode 1 and episode 3. Those were great episodes. 2 and 4 did not impress me. They're just making some interesting choices. Now we can talk about a show that I really, really enjoyed the first episode of Miss Marvel. And Will, I'll let you go first because I know you did not agree with me on that one. I believe.
Yeah, I didn't with you on that one. Like I liked what they were trying to do, but I just thought the pace was too fast. Like sometimes like the characters would talk kind of like so quietly that I wouldn't fully be able to understand what they were saying. So I just wasn't really impressed with the pace, and I liked what they were trying to do and the story, but I just would have done it in a different tone. So only one episode, but I wasn't very impressed with the way that they pulled it off.
Now, if you're in charge of the show, what would you have? What would you want the tone of the show to be like? Would you like it to be serious? Would you like it to be even more comedy? Would you like it to be a drama, heavy
Well,
action?
I mean, for instance, like when she gets those powers, like I would make that like I would play some big music, like I would make that be like a big whoa moment. Like I would really make this like drama filled and intense that she gets these powers like the hero that she looks up to in Captain Marvel.
And that's another thing I liked about it. I love how she looks up to another superhero, like a lot of actual people do. And
That's great.
so yeah, I think that's a cool thing they did there. And I think Iman Vellani is so good as Miss Marvel. I mean, she is just
She does
perfect for the
do a
role.
great job. Yes, I agree.
She is just perfect for this role. I mean, I am super impressed.
In her acting debut, really impressive.
Yeah, it is. I mean, wow. She just pulls off that funny, kind of awkward character perfectly.
Yeah,
And I think her friend Bruna was also a cool character.
he
Um,
was. Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
I I liked him. Yeah.
yeah, and I think her parents were also sometimes they made me laugh, but I thought they were very compelling characters as well, and I liked how they were handling her whole background story there, and I'm just loving the show so far. The CGI I thought was fine, which has been a problem a lot for these Marvel and Star Wars TV shows. The CGI has not been pretty, but it's looking fine so far. So I'm happy about that. I'm always happy when we have good CGI. I think every actor. I think I touched on this a little bit, but every actor is just fantastic, and they actually changed up her powers from the comics. She was just like Mr. Fantastic, and she could stretch. But they kind of changed it up a little bit, which I am totally fine with. I think it's actually better because I think it would look weird if she just like stretched. I don't think we have the CGI to do that. So I think it's great. I love how they're doing it in that cool comic book style. It's really new and fresh, and I think Marvel needed some of that. I think it needs something unique, and I think this is totally it. And it's lighter than all the other Marvel shows, which I thought I wouldn't like, but I'm loving it. And I thought I wouldn't like it because of the PG rating and because I thought it would just be for kids. It is for kids, but it's also for adults too. I mean, it's kind of for all ages, and I'm really happy that Marvel's doing that. They're just branching out, really. We already have some horror stuff in Multiverse of Madness, some cool drama action stuff in Ms.Marvel, some fun action and No Way Home. Moon Knight has its own unique action horror combo. So yeah, I feel like I'm loving how Marvel's really switching it up with the tone right now, depending on the character, which I think you'll agree with me, Will, is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I do think, yeah, I agree with you there. And look, only one episode in, so I won't say any
Of
more,
course,
and
of
I'll
course.
just see how I feel after episode 2, and as this show goes on, because maybe my opinion will change. I mean, we're only like what, like 10% or so through the show.
And to be honest with you, my opinion changed for WandaVision. When I saw the first episode, well, the first and the second came out the same day. But when I saw the first episode, it was about 29 minutes long. I was just like, what the heck is going on? I feel like
Right.
everyone was. I was wondering what the heck was going on, you know?
Well, I think like the craziest thing about that show is that one of the characters is supposed to be dead,
I
and yet
know.
here they are in this what, like 50s sitcom in episode 1.
Yeah, they started off in the
Crazy,
50s.
but obviously brilliant show that I've seen 2 times. Now I enjoyed it the first time, enjoyed it even more the second time.
Oh,
So
yeah.
WandaVision just a masterpiece.
Really is. And now we have Cobra Kai Season 5 trailer to talk about, which we haven't talked about yet for some reason.
First of all, let's just talk about, like, I'm so excited. Thank you, Cobra Kai, for moving it up to September because,
The day before my birthday, by the way.
yes, the day before your birthday, which is even better. So I can't wait. Yeah, September 9th, baby. Season 5. And I think the big, like, overarching theme of this season, Cam, should be that there's a scary man out there. And his name
Terry Silver.
Jerry Silver.
He made me feel bad for John Kreese.
I agree. Even though I don't like how John Kreese brought the bad back into Terry Silver,
That's true.
I
He kind
don't
of brought it on himself.
necessarily want him to be put in jail. But I have hate for both men, John Kreese and Terry Silver. So I think like that is my number one overarching storyline, that there's a scary man in sight. And specifically addressing the trailer, Johnny, what an amazing plan you have. I mean, I've just never seen a plan so good. What a great plan, Johnny. And I mean, that sarcasm that I just did, I like, I, that is what I love about the Johnny character, that he'll do these things that are so ridiculous and yet so perfect for his character.
But he really means it.
Yeah,
He,
absolutely.
and that's why I really love him. Like,
Yeah.
he's really sincere, even though
He's really
how
right. Like,
ridiculous
he
it may
really
sound.
cares about the Miguel character. I totally agree.
And I'm, it's gonna, I mean, I know it's like, I think it'll be good, but it'll make me so sad to see him argue with Robbie again. Because I was just so happy when him and Robbie kind of reconnected at the end
Their
of season
season
4.
in episode 10, or their scene towards the end of episode 10 of season 4,
It's
that was
beautiful.
beautiful. That was one of the best scenes in the entire season. That was, oh, I could go on and on and on.
Also, upon rewatching the final episode of Cobra Kai, season 4, I just rewatched it the other day. Um, That scene with Carrie Underwood was a bit strange. It was kind of out of the blue. I like what they were doing there, but
I
that was.
thought it was great, just that
I also thought it was
they
great,
brought
but
a celebrity like her into the show. I thought that was a great, clever thing.
it was just out of the blue. And I love the writers for this show. I think they do a lot of cool things that
Oh,
may
I think
they
they have plans for much more beyond season 5. I think they're brilliant, genius people.
and I think their lines are cheesy, but in like the best way possible. You know.
Yeah, they do just a fantastic job. Like my only like thing with the trailer, like, if you're gonna reveal that Johnny is taking Robbie with him to find Miguel, then can you at least not reveal that they actually found Miguel? Like, I was disappointed that they went that far. I wanted them to hold back.
I get it, but I think they knew that we were gonna find Miguel. But I totally get what
I
you're
would
saying.
be like, and that's fine. And I want them to, do that. But like, let's say like if they didn't reveal it, we wouldn't know if like, let's say Miguel decided that he wanted to like go back and Johnny and Robbie don't find him because Miguel went back to Southern California on his own. They could do it that way as well.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm excited to see what happens with Daniel LaRusso and Chosen, who's one of my favorite characters. I love Chosen.
So great to have him back, and their scene at the end of season 4. Oh, it just gets me so fired up every single time that I see it.
Oh yeah. Um. So yeah, I'm super excited for Cobra Kai season 5, and I'm just so happy it's the day before my birthday. It's the birthday gift of a lifetime.
Oh, Cam, that's so fantastic. Like, I am so happy for you that you're getting the show coming out around that time. And also, while we're on Cobra Kai, I found out on the day that I saw the season 5 trailer that this October, I believe, Ralph Macchio is actually going to have a book come out. I forget the title. I believe it's called Waxing on the Karate Kid and Me, but it's going to be about kind of, the first film and his experience with it and his whole experience with the character. And I think that's cool that he's coming out with this book because it'll be nice to, hear about his whole history with the Daniel character and being cast for the film and the series in his own words. So I just thought I would point that out that Ralph Macchio is going to have a book coming out this October about the Karate Kid series and his experience with the character. So that was exciting to hear, and I'm glad that he's doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I might have to check that out. All right, so Spider-Man No Way Home re-release. What the heck are they doing? It's gonna have some deleted scenes in it, so I'm definitely gonna have to check that out.
Because of the deleted scenes, I think I am going to go and see it in the theater for that would be my third time. I mean, it'll be nice to be able to, see it on the big screen again, but I just hope that it's worth the re-release and that we'll get some good deleted scenes. So obviously nothing near the excitement of the first time seeing it, but I think I'll go and I'll see it, and I hope that the deleted scenes are good and that they'll blend into the movie.
Yeah, and then we have Thor: Love and Thunder coming out with that new TV spot, which wow, that color
Nice to
changing.
see a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy in that. That was cool.
Yeah, and when he's fighting Gore, that color changing was what the heck happened there?
Think they're actually gonna have it in like black and white in the actual film, or do you think that's just a trailer
Oh, I
special?
think it's gonna be in the actual film. I think that's definitely gonna be in the actual film.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm just psyched for Thor: Love and Thunder. I think it's gonna be just a big time epic summer blockbuster.
Oh, so do I. I mean, oh man, it's just gonna be
Think it's
so
gonna
much
be
fun.
better than Ragnarok or no?
I do because we have Guardians and we have Core already established, so we don't have to do any really setup anymore,
Right.
which is awesome. And I think we have a. It's tough because Ragnarok and Love and Thunder both have amazing villains with great actors playing them. Kate Blanchett playing Hela, and Christian Bale playing Gorley God Butcher. I mean, so I don't know. Maybe because of Guardians, Love and Thunder, I'd go with, but they both seem to be good. And I will say, for like a song, like Ragnarok had the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin, and this has Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses, which I think is also pretty cool. Uh, and it's also cool to see Thor being the only Avenger to have the fourth movie, which is cool. So I think it is going to be better than Ragnarok, but just by a little bit, and it's going to be shorter. I found out they changed the. I think it was originally going to be 2 hours and 16 minutes. At least I believe that's what you saw, right?
Yeah, and I was surprised that it's actually only going to be an hour and 59 minutes, right? That's
Yes.
interesting to me, considering that, like, let's say, yeah, like let's say you have the Guardians of the Galaxy for the first like 30 minutes of the film, and then he goes off and does his other things. I would just assume that it would be more than 2 hours, but not that it won't still be great.
Oh, of course. Just like Multiverse of Madness, that was about 2 hours long.
Yep, very true.
And then we have Jurassic World Dominion. I just want to brush by this as awful reviews, which I am super surprised by considering it's a pretty big blockbuster. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised about that. I'm going to be seeing it soon. But
Are you
yeah,
still excited to see it despite the awful reviews?
yes, because I love Jeff Goldblum, and he is going to be in this one.
Nice.
All right, and Game Five. We'll kind of just brush by this quick because we kind of talked about it on the halftime show. But Warriors win. I listened to the Draymond Green podcast today about it, and I liked everything he said about it. So, Will, what were your thoughts? What were your quick thoughts about Game Five for your Warriors?
Yeah, I also listened to the Draymond Green podcast this morning, and well, a term that I am figuring out he loves to use is absolutely incredible. Like
Yeah.
describing his teammates' performances and stuff. I counted 6 absolutely incredibles in this latest episode of the Draymond Green show, but I love how he said it too. But yeah, really impressive win for the Warriors. Obviously, the Celtics cut it to 1 by the
A
end of the
really impressive loss from the Celtics.
yeah, obviously, yeah, the Celtics cut to 1 at the end of the third quarter. I mean, I think Game 6 will be another dogfight, but this is the best I felt as a Warriors fan all series because they don't just have the series tied; they have a 1 game lead on it, and they're 1 game away from the title. So I
And
mean,
as a
I think Game Six.
as a Celtics fan, I'm a bit nervous right now.
Yeah, I mean, like it's important to remember, obviously, that you came back, against the Bucks from being down 3-2, but then, also, obviously, Golden State's, a tough opponent with the experience. So I think Game 6 will be another tough game, but this, as a Warriors fan, this is the best I felt all series because they beat the Celtics 2 times in a row, which no one has done so far, and they don't just have the series tied up; they have an actual 1 game lead in the series. So, what were your thoughts on Game 5, Cam?
All right, I was not impressed with my Celtics. I thought your Warriors played fantastic. I thought Draymond Green had a better game. I just think we need to hit more shots. I talked about it on the halftime show. Hit more shots. Everyone just needs to take it up a notch. I feel like we just can't play like that if we really want to win. If it just didn't look like we had the drive out there that we had past few games. So I am a bit I'm nervous, but at the same time I'm also relatively confident that we have what it takes to win. So I'm nervous, but I don't doubt us, if that makes any sense. I don't doubt that we can win, you know? Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, that absolutely makes sense. And even if it doesn't look the brightest for the Celtics right now, again, they did come back from down 3-2 against the Bucks, so they have shown that they're capable of doing it. So Yeah, are you? I think I'll stick with my Warriors in seven prediction. Are you going to go with Celtics in seven, or what's your thoughts, series prediction wise?
I can't make a prediction right now, honestly.
Yeah,
I honestly cannot make a prediction right now.
yeah,
Originally, it was Celtics in six, and that was obviously incorrect. Um, so yeah, I cannot make another prediction right now. I don't want to jinx anything or anything like that.
I think that's yeah, and I completely respect that.
Yeah. So I think that's it for today's episode, Will.
Yeah, obviously, there's the 40-minute time limit, but we got all this in with less than a minute to go. So, good job by you and good job by us. This was fun as always, Cam.
Yeah. All right. I will see you next time. Goodbye.